heart out.
Hi, I'm Kayla Ogden.
And I'm Rachel Sear.
And this is
Write Your Heart Out.
And we're doing a Storytime episode. Is this our third Storytime?
It's either our third or it might be I think it's our fourth.
The Storytime episodes are my personal favorite.
They're fun.
Because,
I like it too.
Yeah, I just love storytelling and poetry, and especially when we can kind of connect with listeners, it's just the best. It's the best.
It is. It's really fun.
Today we have poems by one of my best friends, Blair Vischer. We have the second part of Rachel Sear's story. Does the story have a name?
Well, in my Google Docs, it's just called Enemies to Lovers because that was the prompt section.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to that with that right now.
That would be good, for keywords. Right? People Googling enemies to lovers story and then just yours pops up because that's what you named it.
Right. It's not a full chapter because I limited myself to 1 hour. I think it's a good add-on to what we've already talked about.
This is amazing. So if you go back and listen to the last story time and listen to Rachel's, I really liked it. And there were so many breadcrumbs or something that I wanted to follow. I was very curious to see what was going to happen next. There were a lot of questions left in my mind. And so I begged her to write more, and she granted us an hour of her writing time to keep on going. And then we have a story by Dave.
Yes. My dad, Dave Richanbach.
Dave Richanbach, and I've been calling him David.
That's okay. That is it's his legal name. It's David.
Yes.
David, in my head, David's my little brother. Oh. And then Dave is my dad. But whatever.
Whatever I want.
I mean, he didn't say he wanted to be anonymous. So Dave Richanbach, here it is.
Here we go. But we're going to save his for last, I think.
Yes.
And for those of you who are wondering about the switcheroo between MJ and Scott Gibson, MJ sent us hers, and we are so excited, beyond excited to listen to it.
Yeah, I really can't wait.
But Scott, when he suggested the switcheroo, he was like, oh, this is an idea. Maybe this could happen in the future sometime. Who knows? And then Rachel and I were on it like white on rice, and we immediately got MJ to write a poem. And then we were like, Scott, where's yours? And he was like, I'm busy. I don't know. I can't do it. So
it's not how his creative juices flew.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't flow that way.
He just said that his life has been, quote, ridiculous lately, which could mean so many different things. If you listen to Scott's poem on the Storytime from last week, you may imagine that he's stuck in a Thai prison or something like that. Sure. I really don't know. He has access to his phone, and he has been messaging me. So hopefully everything's okay over there. He said that we should go ahead and read MJ's poem, and then he would submit his in the future.
Okay. Maybe I should text MJ right now and see how she feels about it.
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll message her right now. We'll get going with the story time, and then if she responds,
then
we'll roll
with it. That would be great. I really want to hear hers because this will be her third poem that we featured on the show, and we wanted her to write about love. So I love young love. There's nothing like it. And one other thing I wanted to mention was that Rachel got us on Reddit.
I did.
Which means we are what are Redditors? Incels?
Are Redditors?
Oh, we are.
No, Reddit's quite the rabbit hole.
Reddit's amazing, actually.
It is. It's like everything from advice to funny stuff, really sad, dark stuff. Yeah. I mean, you can go down a lot of rabbit holes on Reddit.
I love the "Am I the Asshole?"
Oh yeah,
thread.
That's
it is the best.
So I've been posting. I created a Reddit community for our Storytime stuff to put out there into the world.
Amazing.
So we'll see what happens.
So far, we're just posting our own stuff, right? We can't just post. I have no idea what a Reddit community is even like or what it does, but I'm excited to dive in and get on there. So if you want to be a part of it, is that a thing?
Or I think you can join our community.
Yeah, please join.
Works. That's how you would be able to read our story times if you wanted to, and then share them to the world if you feel so inclined.
Can they also post their own stories in our community?
I think so, and that would be amazing. And then we would read them on the podcast.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that would be a great way to communicate with us.
Yes.
If you want to.
If you want to read on a story time, either email it to contact@writeyourheartoutpod.com or go on our Reddit for Write Your Heart Out Pod.
That's our handle.
That's our handle. and post it on there, and we would be so excited.
Oh my God, I would literally squeal when I see it pop up.
I would. Guys, we're just getting started here. You guys are on the ground floor. Of Write Your Heart Out.
All right, wait. Breaking news. MJ says yes.
Yes. So should we play that one after Dave's?
Yeah. I think let's make her the the icing on the cake. The cream at the top of the pot. The cream pot.
The creamy pot.
No, I don't like it. Okay, sorry, MJ. The cream of the crop, though.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
No, we don't know that.
Or Blair's.
I mean, Blair's are probably good, too.
I mean, I'm sure they're... Okay.
Okay. She's just going last, guys. It has no significance. This is in random order. It has nothing to do with your being better than anyone else.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, but speaking of people being better than anyone else, we're not, because we didn't make the top 8 people on Novelry.
Oh.
I saw the email that was like, our top 8 ones, and I was like, they would have notified me if I was a top 8, right?
Yeah, so you knew immediately.
What? I mean, unless...
Sort of. You held out hope.
I held out hope, and I scrolled through, and I was like, that's not the first line to any of mine, and I don't think that was the first line to any of Kayla's.
Did you submit more than one, or you just forget what you submitted, or what your first line was?
No, I submitted the first chapter of Carolyn.
Oh.
And then I submitted the first chapter of Dinner for 8.
Okay, well, they're insane if they didn't choose you, Rachel.
Well,
22, what? Was it 2,200 or 22,000?
Like 22,000. It was a lot of applicants.
It was 22,000, so...
And I'm just going to be a hater for a second. The 8 that I did read, they just post the first sentence of each one, and... I wasn't a fan.
Are you serious?
One was about being audited. I'm not into it.
Wow.
Wants to be audited. I don't want to read.
Well, maybe it gets freaky or something. Yeah, when they sent me the email, the next big story shortlist, I couldn't figure out where to find it. Like, I had to click through so many clicks, and I never got to see who it was, but I just knew that it wasn't me. But I would like to see what they chose, I guess.
Should we read them? Or
on
maybe
the pod? Should we publish them without consent?
Well, it's just the first sentence.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Well, where are they?
Are we wounded? Are we wounded puppies?
Like, I'm looking through their website. I can't fucking figure anything out.
All right. Well, we're going to move on then. Oh, we found it.
Oh, the first line. Okay, yeah. Okay, I want to do this.
Do it.
Okay, so I'm going to read you there were 8 finalists to the Novelry's next big story. Mm-hmm. That's the short list.
And I believe now people can go vote and give their opinion.
Oh, okay. Really? Just based on...
That's what I was saying, because voting starts now is what it said at the bottom.
Oh, read the full entry and vote for finalist 1. So this is, on this page, it's just showing us the first line, and then we can click through to read the whole thing, and we can vote. But it's also showing us what some of the editors said about the story. So that's interesting. So here we go. Oh, they don't even tell us the name of the person.
Well,
Weird.
I think that's why, right? I mean,
because we don't want to have to Google them.
I mean, it would make a bias,
yeah,
wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so finalist 1, this is the first line. He wanted to teach me a lesson, so he left me on the side of the road somewhere in rural Missouri.
That one?
Yikes.
Is interesting. Yes.
That's sad. Oh my gosh. And then finalist 2 wrote, Grace LaBeal is turning 20 on top of a man who does not love her and will not date her.
I probably did the same thing, girl.
Okay. So finalist 3, the birds stopped singing on the morning of the audit.
Oh, there's the audit.
Ooh, I think this one, to me, it's giving like sci-fi.
Sure. I think it is.
Like all the clocks turn 13.
Audit. Have you been audited before? It's the worst.
Have you?
Yes.
That sounds scary.
It was horrible.
I don't know what would happen with my crypto. I'd be like, I don't know. I have a few wallets.
Oh, man. See, that would make it even worse.
It would make it really worse. So finalist number 4, if you ever wake up in a gilded carriage pulled by white horses with shimmering panes, don't panic. You're already doomed. Huh.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Finalist 5. You can fit the entire cremated remains of a 5'2" woman inside a hot water bottle. Ew. Why does it have to be a hot water bottle?
Yeah. Creepy.
Oh, hot water bottles are those things that you used to sleep with, right?
The big mouth thing. Yeah. And then it has like the giant square pocket.
Yeah, and it's like rubber, and you fill it up with hot water.
That's
and you
what I
hug
think
it.
about when I think of a hot water bottle.
Okay, interesting. Finalist 6. Every night for almost a month after her son's suicide on TikTok Live, their cat waits.
Ew.
Ooh, ouch.
Larry. Giving Larry vibes.
Ooh, Larry did it. Finalist 7. The sheep didn't care that the dictator was dying. Whoa, this is like my thing.
I know. When I read that one, I was like, oh my God, did she change her first line and Kayla's in there?
Weird. No, that is not.
Right? How weird would that be?
Yeah. If it wins and it's like a dystopian thing where the sheep and then the women die and stuff, I'm going to feel really weird inside.
Well,
I already feel weird inside that we wrote the same kind of story about Larry.
I know.
Like, it just makes you feel...
It was the muse thing.
Yeah, maybe it was just the muse. It wasn't that we're basic.
Whispering. No. I have my basic moments, but I don't think that is why Larry came to be.
No.
And it certainly has nothing to do with your dystopian sheep.
Okay. I obviously am so neurotic. Like, when I do this podcast, I'm like, I'm neurotic. Okay, so finalist 8. Harlow had never known what it meant to be clean. Ooh, I like that one.
Well, I like these all a lot better when you read them to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they're all good.
I was being a real bitch. But I also realized I was losing, in that moment. So,
yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Now, are you starting to feel compersion? Do you feel compersion now for these authors?
Yeah, definitely way more compersion than jealous. Rage.
Than jealous. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting there. It's just an uneasy feeling. They say in this business, you have to deal with rejection a lot. And I didn't start that until maybe like a year ago because I was just writing in my dreamland and imagining that it was the best book that had ever existed. And then, you start putting yourself out there a little bit and you're like, oh, this is what it means to try and fail. But at least you're playing the game,
Absolutely.
At least you're on the field.
Yep.
Going after it.
You miss 100% of the shots
you don't take. True. We took a shot. We actually took a shot.
We did. Okay, let's do this.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready for Rachel's part 2 of Enemies to Lovers.
I'm going to say it's the first part of chapter 2.
Okay.
Where we left, I'm just going to read the last paragraph of chapter 1 in case anyone needs a little refresher. Mm-hmm. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last paragraph of chapter 1 was, I can feel his eyes on me, and I hate how much I love him watching me. I, the front desk receptionist, had always felt as though I was merely a tiny blip on his radar, and I would be lying if I didn't admit that I hadn't had a chip on my shoulder about it. This feels better than it should. Let him watch. In the bathroom, I stand at the mirror, observing my hollow cheekbones. My muddy brown eyes are dark and get lost in the shadow of my thick, side-swept bangs. I push them back out of my face and observe myself for a moment, thankful that my dollar store makeup still looks good from this morning, and use my middle finger to lightly dab under each eye, ensuring mascara hasn't become smeared underneath. I lift my arms, watching myself in the mirror as I take a quick sniff under each armpit and then sigh. Thank God I don't smell. I bare my teeth in the mirror, looking to make sure there's nothing stuck, and then look up to the ceiling as I try to remember what food could even be stuck there. When was the last time I ate? On cue, my stomach audibly creaks in anticipation of the hot meal I know June will be bringing out for me. Something with actual fat and protein. Okay. I focus in and lean over the sink to give myself a pep talk. Kimberly, you got this. It seems like his intentions are good. Hear him out. Buying you food doesn't mean you depend on him. You won't owe him anything. It doesn't mean you need him. It doesn't mean anything. I shake my head and look down into the chipped porcelain sink. It's been so long since I allowed myself to let anyone in. June is the closest thing I have to family anymore, the only one that seems to care. She has never once handed me a bill after I've eaten here, yet I still can't bring myself to order more than buttered toast. With years of history between us, I still don't want her to think I depend on her for food, even though I know I'm not fooling her. I'm sure if I could go to therapy, they'd tell me I need to let myself lean on people, but that's so much easier said than done. No college-educated therapist has had to live this life. They don't know what it's like to have an unreliable, reckless, self-centered asshole of a father, to go through the repeated loss and abandonment I did, to have lived in their car since they were 16. My own mother's last words to me were, never depend on anyone, Kimmy. Nobody can be trusted. I watched her walk away from me, not even looking back with remorse, with sadness, with emotion at all, as she disappeared into the crowd. Those words have been etched into my heart for over a decade now, and as of last week, they are also in ink on my forearm. I pull up my sleeve and trace the tattoo lightly. It's still sensitive, but the redness has gone down, and the fine lines are lightly raised under my fingertips. They curl and wrap around each other in a pattern of my own design. It looks like another language to anyone else. Even the artist didn't know what he was putting into my skin, but I know. I will always know. Pulling down the sleeve of my sweatshirt, I tuck it into my fist and take a deep breath before heading back out into the restaurant. As I step out into the small hallway, the smell of cooking oil and sausage patties wafts by and my stomach groans again. I peek my head around the corner and see the back of Jared's head sitting in the booth. He's looking out the window into the night, or maybe back at his own reflection in the glass. Jesus, he's so fucking gorgeous. I'd stare at myself all night too if I looked like him. His green eyes, chiseled jaw, and ever-present 5 o'clock shadow are just the tip of the iceberg, and I find my eyes wandering to the nape of his neck, imagining myself grazing him there with my lips, breathing him in. Suddenly, he turns and finds me watching him. I jump back, knocking over a high chair and losing my balance. A hearty laugh rings out, filling the entire restaurant, and my face bursts into flames, heat rising in my cheeks as I steady myself by touching the wall next to me. I stomp my foot, disappointed for getting caught, and lean down to hide my face and pick up the toppled high chair. When I look up, he's coming towards me, and within seconds his hand is on mine, taking the wooden seat out from my grasp, and the same tingling from earlier erupts through my hand where our skin touches. I look down at the connection. Sure, there must be something tangible causing this sensation, but there's nothing but his hand against my own. I look up at him, hoping to find that he confirms the feeling, that it's not just me, but I get nothing, not seeming to notice. Sorry, I did not edit this. He continues to take the chair from my hand and places it against the wall, turning his back to me, chuckling. Whether he's laughing with me or at me, I'm not sure, and I feel the heat rise back up in my gut. I stomp around him and head back to the booth.
She knows that she likes him.
She knows, yeah.
That she thinks he's hot.
Right.
But she doesn't know how he feels.
He's got something.
Yeah, he's got something going on.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide what he is. Mm-hmm. What is he?
What is he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
did he have a reflection?
Did he have a... Good question.
Ooh.
I never even thought about that.
Great. Thank you so much for indulging us.
Yes.
Seriously can't wait to see where that goes.
So I have, speaking of Reddit, been posting this one on Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
And I put it out there into the Reddit world that I don't know if this should turn into like a romantasy type of thing or what it should turn into. And I wanted to see what Reddit had to say. And nobody has responded.
But it said that people have looked at it.
Yeah, a lot of people have looked at it.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Awesome.
So if you want to read this and you want to like upvote it or suggest where it should go or something, I'll be reading it. Let me know.
I think I want to do this too. Enter in like a serial chapter by chapter thing.
Right? Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I love that idea for us.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if you wrote it all on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I from what I understand about Reddit, which is minimal, and I know that makes like me sound really old and stupid, but like people love to be a part of it on there. Like they like to be in on the action of how it's happening, and I think that that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's very cool. And also, there's a lot of books that ended up getting published and did really well that started out as fan fiction.
Right.
And I just think that it's totally okay. General advice is if something has been published before or gets self-published, no publisher is going to want to print it or whatever. But if it gets a good reaction from people, I think that the industry is changing. So I think if you were able to say, oh my gosh, 200 people followed along on my journey and they really liked it and they connected with me over it, I think that that's only like going to be a positive thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
So this is going to be a thing that you're going to do. You're going to go chapter by chapter. And
I think so. I'm just going to roll with this one.
That's so sweet. That's
awesome.
If
I'm dedicating, and I also don't want to dedicate more than an hour or two to this book at a time.
Yeah.
So I think that doing it that way is really fun.
Yes.
And because I want to really continue focusing on editing Dinner for Eight.
Yeah.
And make that my main priority. But like this is a fun, like way more interactive way to keep writing,
like practicing.
And keep it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Now we're going to have Blair's poems. I have a feeling they're short. So
You haven't read them. Oh, no. She did audio recordings.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
The Easy Dark by Blair Vischer. So late, it's light out there. So many dreamless awakenings, jolted, distorted. Once fact flew free in this dark, full emptiness supported me, then dropped away. As I turned my back, I woke up, jolted up from my easy dark, swift and proud, and long found the dark, my love, forsaken me, vice versa. Not out of spontaneity, but eyes shaded can't see in this dank dark to infinity force, this rebirth, and there is no going back. I shade my eyes, cower in this light. Hot heat seeks my heartfelt lies. So late, it's light out there, waking from the easy dark to the prying sun.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Oh, I wonder if that's about a baby coming out.
Oh.
Because the easy dark, and then you're kind of coming out and shielding your eyes against the light. And she's saying something about like there being like lies out there. I could be totally wrong. I want Blair to tell me if that's about a baby being born. But that was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
I love her voice. Okay, here's the next one. Halfway Hero.
Halfway Heroes by Blair Vischer. My breath ice cold, sounds of silence. In the heat of midday, I realize I can never get past this cold-blooded happiness. Worlds freeze, fog shivers as it quivers in moonlit air. Zen hands seem to shake with the effort of keeping us out here. A truth caught in the open because the hot sun hates halfway heroes.
Okay, so Blair's a really interesting person. She had a homestead for a long time where she everything her family ate for a year, she produced on that farm.
That is my dream.
It was amazing. And they're vegan, so she wasn't
No chickens.
No chickens. There was a little pond on their property. And as she began growing food and taking care of the land and everything, all these different like species of animals started to come to like her yard. And she created her own little ecosystem there. So when I hear this poem, it makes me think of there was a time when her and her husband bought land somewhere and they were going to build a house on that land. And I wonder if that's what she's talking about when she's talking about her hands moving and working to keep them there, you know? Okay, so the next one is called Salt.
Salt by Blair Vischer. Feel it course through your mind, questions with no answers I can find. Time's just begun for you and I, forces none but us would deny. And so you're gone, leaving nothing. But I remember more than sleeping. Then you traced a teardrop with your hand from the corner of my eye, along the curve of my face, and swore I'd never cry. Somehow it's the salt I taste and trust against the lie.
Oh my God, that just gave me chills, Blair, because it's interesting that like the person, they're tracing your tear with their hand while they're saying you're never going to cry.
Yeah.
And then you're like, actually, I can taste this tear in my mouth. Like they're almost like a triptych, like they kind of work together. She writes fantasy. Can you tell?
I definitely wouldn't have connected those dots on my own.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Continue
Blair.
to share.
Yeah,
especially if you
more,
have a short story. We'd love to read some YA fantasy.
Absolutely. Please send some YA fantasy.
What was the next one? Was it Dave's?
We're going to go with Dave.
I cannot wait.
Okay, he said it got a little dark.
All right.
I have not read it. So this was his 2-hour project. So he used the prompts from a couple episodes ago. I want to say it was episode 12, where I got the enemies to lover prompt. And so in that list on our website, he went and he chose a prompt from there. And I don't know which one he chose. Maybe we'll be able to figure it out from this. He did the same 2 hours. He gave himself a time limit.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Wow. And it's a story.
It's a story.
And it has a title?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. Okay.
I mean, unless the title is 2-hour project.
Okay.
Okay. Never a good sign, he thought. But when did a sign become good or bad? A sign is a sign is a sign. They all just tell a story about what is, whether anyone is paying attention or not. No one had told him this would hurt so bad. In fact, thinking about it, he realized no one had actually told him anything. He had always been in the dark. Metaphorically before and literally now, he just didn't know that it would be both dark and painful. He felt surprised by that, and felt surprised at the surprise. Stupid, he told himself. Why did he think he would know anything? Of course he would be surprised. That is what happens to anyone when they start paying attention after not paying attention for so long. Lots of surprises. Ouch. Too little, too late. If he was going to be mad at someone for not paying attention to him, not warning him, not helping him, he could start with number 1. Who is supposed to help someone who won't help himself? Who is supposed to explain things to someone who's not listening? Someone who makes a big show of not listening. He felt shame now. A list was forming. Darkness, pain, shame, all the hits. At least he could add humor to the list. Darkness, pain, shame, and humor. That had always been his superpower, sarcastic humor. Like the best masons building the strongest, highest, and thickest walls brick by brick, he had used his sarcastic superpowers to wall himself from everyone, walling himself in and others out. He could call for help, but even now, in the dark, hurting, shamed, he felt somehow blackly secure behind the emotional bricks and mortar. No one would find him because no one was looking. Someone had to care to come looking, and who would that be? No one would hear him either. He was sure of that. The hard work of being worth listening to, being a two-way street, and his life was all one-way alleys and dead ends. Trust me, he thought, to no one in particular. I would love to know why this is happening to me, but then thought aloud, stupid again. He knew why it was happening, and no amount of conversational projection was going to change a thing. No one to blame. There never was anyone else to blame, but blame comes easy. Shame makes it a habit to blame, and habit becomes addiction. And there you go. Easy as Bob's your uncle. Humor, he thought. Thank God humor is on the list. And he allowed a chuckle. But it was a mistake. It hurt to laugh, and not just in some homespunny metaphorical way, like the darkness. The real pain was real. Giles Corey, he thought to himself. I'm going to die like Giles Corey. He allowed himself the distraction of remembering the story. Giles Corey, one of the men killed in the Salem witch trials. They crushed him with massive stones on his chest in the wicked process of torturing a confession out of him. When they asked, innocent or guilty, he only replied, more weight. And of course, they gave him what he asked for. Why does that story come to me now? He wondered. Was there some sort of nobility in never giving in? Death before confession. Was it worth it? He wondered. What is worth dying for? Then, as an experiment, more weight, he said softly. Then, with more conviction, more weight. Trying again, he growled. More weight. Then shouting, more weight, until he was hoarse and tired of the experiment. He felt nothing again. No, not nothing. He felt powerful feelings. He reviewed the list. Pain, darkness, shame, and humor was eluding him. Something else was coming to replace it. He could tell he was not going to like it. For a wasted minute, he had thought that he could shout his way into some noble corner of Giles' story. Death before confession. Death before compromise. His face was wet now in the silence that followed the shouting, and reality came rushing in at him, compressing him like the matter in the black hole of his life. Then he was left with darkness, pain, shame, and wouldn't you know it, humor had become sadness.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. I love it.
Wow.
Okay. Is the guy being tortured? He's in jail?
I can't tell. He's clearly somewhere dark. You know what I got? What came to mind was kind of the pit and the pendulum. You know, the guy when he's in the pit, like alone in this darkness.
The Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah. And he's being tortured down there.
Yeah.
But by himself. Like, I kind of get that vibe.
Yeah. I wonder if that guy from the witch trials...
Giles Corey?
Yeah. That must be a real
I don't know.
thing, right?
I mean, that's terrible. The more weight? Oof.
Yeah. He's a real guy, an English farmer. He was accused of witchcraft along with his wife, Martha Corey, during the Salem witch trials in the province of Massachusetts Bay.
All right. Well, thank you, Dad. That was really... Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was terrific. I love the use of repetition and how the list kept on building. And I like the idea that humor turned to sadness. And I wonder if there was this one time when I was in my 20s and I was talking to my roommate, Eric, who was having a hard time finishing his PhD. He would just go to school for so long and just never finish. And then I remember he moved out somewhere where he would just live in a barn so that he'd have no distractions so he could write his thesis. And then I saw him like a year later and I asked him if he finished his thesis in the barn and he said no.
Oh, no.
Like he did go to the barn, but he still managed to not work. on what he was supposed to be working on, which anyways, he's a really nice, interesting person. But he mentioned being on a boat somewhere with some guy. And the guy saying this to him was, you feel anger, you're angry, you feel anger all the time, but you know that underneath anger is always sadness.
Yeah.
That, like, anger is just sadness putting on a show.
Sure.
And then people say that about, like, humor sometimes, too.
Yeah.
Like, people who are sad will joke about it all the time.
Well, yeah, like, pretty prolific comedians are known to be quite depressed.
Yeah, and Dave's story when it was talking about building up the masons, building up the bricks, were the bricks humor?
Oh, good question.
I think they were. So, yeah, that was really, really good. I'd love to know where he is and, like, does he get out of it?
I know. I would love to know more.
I want him to get out of there and redeem his life.
Yeah. Okay. So I also, as reading it, I figured out what his prompt was. The one he chose
was it?
No one had told him it was hurt this bad. Remember that was one of them?
Oh, I want to just give him more prompts now.
I know. Way to go, Dad. Way to go.
Write more stuff.
So now we're going to go with MJ. She gave us permission, and it is also an audio recording. Are we ready?
Let's go, MJ.
Hello, this is MJ. This is my take on the brilliant poem we heard last episode from Scott about young love, and this is my take on that, using his poem, I guess, as a prompt, but putting it through my own experiences anyways. This one is called Strangers. From the moment you bumped into me in the hallway, you fell for me. You wore your smile for days, weeks, purely just for me. I hadn't smiled in a while. Truly, I don't believe I ever have. But despite the pit of my depths, loving you felt like taking the breath I had been holding in all of my life. We had nicknames and all that jazz and danced and played musical chairs with our intentions, playing hard to get, I guess. You'd play Guess Who, and I'd ask who's there, and I suppose that's young love, or maybe it's just dumb love, and I was an idiot for you. From the moment you bumped into me in the hallway, I knew it'd be just that. Not a heartbreak or bone-deep cut, but a mere bump, though I can't help but feel as if I had been shoved. I remember how you called me your ladybug, how you crawled your way into my heart, and ladybugs have a typical lifespan of about 3 months, and we couldn't even make it to 1. I remember kissing under trees and cuddling on the beach. I remember looking into your eyes and feeling as if I was looking into mine. You had mirrors for eyes, that's why I could never see your true intentions. I only saw what I wanted to see, and I understand that you were trying things out, but you didn't have to try out me, so now you expect me to just walk away, walk through my days, as if we are just strangers. When you bumped into me in the hallway, I never thought you'd be the one to break my heart, in that stupid fucking intersection where you didn't just break but dissected my heart. I remember looking at the yellow walk sign and pressing it a million times. I just wanted to run away, and I saw a ladybug crawl up the stoplight pole, and how poetic. It's as if the ladybug you saw in me was literally crawling away. But I held in my tears when you asked why. I had nothing to say. There's really nothing to say at all when you've pushed someone into the pit of their depths, and after restricting their metaphorical breath, and then smiled through it all as if it never happened, as if neither of us bumped into each other, and as if neither of us ever fell. Thank you.
Oh, MJ, you are such an amazing poet.
MJ, is that about your last breakup? Because if it is, I have to say something. So you're together for like less than a month, but you're cuddling on beaches and kissing under trees and gazing into each other's eyes. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah, it's the best part of a relationship.
I mean, I just think that the way that when you're young you can fall into these things is so beautiful and tragic. And I love the way that you use the bump in the poem, where it was like, oh, you bumped into me, like they fell. Why do I feel like I've been shoved?
Yeah.
Like, that is so sick.
Yeah.
The way that somebody can close themselves off to you, or if you can't really see in their eyes, they're just reflecting you back to you. Some people are really good at doing that, and they don't even realize they're doing it. They're just imitating you and giving you what you want to hear to get something out of you, but not actually giving anything of themselves. Anyways, he's a shithead, or she, I think, I don't know.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It's an experience.
It is an experience. And I can't remember what I'm about to say is the worst.
Okay.
But I was watching Real Housewives with my husband.
Oh my God. Which franchise?
I want to say it was Real Housewives of OC. Okay. Yes, it was OC. And these broads were talking to one of their daughters. Like all of them together were talking about one of the daughters. And the daughter had just gone through a breakup. And they were going around the table talking about their worst breakups in like such a beautiful, like, isn't it amazing to be able to look back on that as a story now and not as a heartbreak? Not that I'm getting life lessons from the Real Housewives of OC, but it was so fun. And like, it was a cute moment on that show where I was like, it's true. I have gone through some really terrible breakups. And they're just stories now. Yeah. And they're like stories that I really actually appreciate in my life. You know, even with the PTSD that came with a couple of them. Whoa. You know, like they're things that have informed and brought a lot or just as much as, you know, the good times.
Yeah. I think it ends up clarifying what you want and what you need eventually. Yeah. It can be so incredibly painful. And it can sometimes last for a while. Yeah. It's not abnormal to feel heartbreak for longer than you think that you should, you know? I remember with one of my loves that I had, I was like, I'm never gonna stop thinking about him every day. Like, when is this gonna end? When am I gonna stop obsessing? It went on for so long that I was obsessed with him after I broke up with him. And then one day I was working and I saw this little boy, kind of toddler. I was working at this framing store, framing art, and I saw this little boy with curly blonde hair and blue eyes kind of toddle into the store. And I looked down at him and I said, that's Ben. Oh. I was like, oh my God, that's Ben. And he was just my ex, like this little toddler. I don't know how, whatever. He just was, okay? And this really happened. Then when I went for my break, I was like sitting on this bench and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the first time I've thought about Ben in like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm getting over it. Holy shit. I mean, I did just think this toddler was my ex, which isn't a great sign, but I really have been thinking about other stuff. So maybe MJ's over it already, but if she's not, she will be in time.
Yeah. And we really took a left turn with this poem.
Yeah.
We ran with it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, MJ.
Yeah, that was really beautiful.
Okay. So on the next episode, we are going to talk about character development, which is something Rachel's really passionate about.
I am. And I am so curious as to how you develop your characters, which I know you do a little bit more pantsing on, right? Yeah. Is what you've said. Where, I mean, I'm going to bring in my outline to how I created Carolyn, and you're going to have thoughts, and I'm interested.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I suggested because Rachel is actually an expert at Enneagram, and if you haven't heard of it, it's a way of dissecting and understanding your personality. Mm-hmm. It's a personality quiz at first that it's really in depth. Sure. What if you take one of these tests as your character to kind of understand your character more? So when it asks, if you're late for a party, how do you feel? A,
like, it's okay, I'll get there when I get there. Or B, it's, I freak out and I yell at everyone around me.
Yeah. And then think about, okay, how would my character act? I think that would be like a really cool exercise in like fleshing out your character.
I think it really would be. So yeah, I will bring all of my Enneagram knowledge to the table because I think that's a really fun way to look at it, for sure.
I think I'm going to take one of the Enneagram quizzes as my character from Pillow Forts Down. Okay. Because right now I am working on kind of making her more complex and making people feel more like attached to her and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited about talking about that.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for sending in your work. Scott, can't wait to hear your response to MJ's beautiful poem.
Yeah. Can't wait.
And Dave, we'll send you more prompts. I want to hear more. Actually, I want to hear what's going on with this dude who's saying more weight in the place. Where is he? Is he going to get out? He has to get out, okay?
Yeah.
Dave, you've given us too much power. Now I feel like I can boss you around and tell you what to do, and you'll do it for us.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.